The men of our generation have lost their spirit. They do not love life anymore, and so they mope from day to day, never engaging fully with anything, never having any enthusiasm for the day ahead. But the men of our tribe are different. From a deep love for life, we have developed spirit, Thumos. There is a fire constantly burning within us, an engine humming deeply. And so we take life into our stride, fully engaged, fully alive. Which one do you want to be, bro? Do you want to walk this earth alive or dead? If you can watch this video from start to end, then I can teach you how to relight the fire within, how to build this spirit, this indomitable force that the ancient Greeks spoke about, this Thumos. The ancient Greeks had this concept called Thumos. I think it came from Plato back in the day. It was pronounced Thumos back in the day. And basically what it literally translates to is passion or anger. It was courage in its most raw form. It was a seat of anger and hatred, honestly, in some certain times, but that was translated into deep courage, deep spirit. More than anything though, it was the courage to come back. Thumos came to mean this kind of warrior spirit, this indomitable force that would return from a battle even when he lost. So the book The Way of Men by Jack Donovan speaks about Thumos. It has this idea in it of gameness, and even though the example it uses is a pretty shit one, right, it's dogfighting, what it basically says is that in dogfighting, the winner or the loser of the dogfight isn't the dog that gets killed, isn't the dog that's injured to the point where it can't continue, but it's the dog that when they open up the gates doesn't run out of them anymore. It's the dog that doesn't have Thumos, that doesn't have this spirit. And even though fuck dogfighting, it speaks to us as humans. The humans that don't have this gameness are the ones that when they fail, they call it a day, they quit. But the humans with Thumos, the humans with this spirit inside of them, are the ones that succeed in life. They're the ones that when something puts them down, they get back up again and fight 10 times as hard. Now, Thumos is different than energy. It's a much lower vibration and it's hard to describe, but every single one of you has experienced it before. So when you think of energy, you think of this kind of heady high, like it represents, like maybe you've drunk a cup of coffee and you feel kind of lightheaded, kind of energetic, you're jumping around. You've got this energy for life. Thumos is different. It gives you energy, but it comes from somewhere deeper. Its seat is somewhere lower down in you. You feel your Thumos in your stomach. It is the fire in the belly. It is the engine that's kind of humming, and it's not an energetic hum. It's not a high frequency pitch. But it is there, it's humming deeply. It's the fire that's burning, that's growling, not the energy that's explosive. These days though, a lot of us have lost that fire within us. The world around us isn't designed to build the fire. The world that we live in is designed in a way that extinguishes the fire. We've got so many problems these days, like depression, like detachment. So many of us live our lives completely outside of our own bodies. We live these kind of external, detached lives where we're kind of just like AFK. Yeah? We're sort of just streaming through life, looking at things as they come, but never really engaging with any of them fully, never being enthusiastic about anything. I mean, ask yourself this question, right? How many days of the past weeks and the past 7 days have you lived with true intention? How many of those days have you got up every single morning with real purpose, with real drive? How many of those days have you had that fire within you when you can honestly say that you were energetic and happy and excited and enthusiastic about what you were doing? Here's the thing is, for a lot of us, we can't honestly remember a time like that. And the sad thing is, for a lot of us, the last time we had that was when we were children. It was when we were a young kid and we were playing a new game or going to a new place and everything was cool and everything was amazing. And we had that enthusiasm for life. We had that Thumos within us, that fire. Because a lot of the fire is about discovery, it's about adventure, and we've lost so much of that. These days we don't see the beauty in anything anymore. I mean, that's another question to ask yourself, is when was the last time that you looked at something and you thought, you know what, fuck me, that is really beautiful? And I'd be willing to bet, probably not very recently. Because if you spend your days like fucking wanking, playing video games, reading manga, then there's probably not been a time recently when you've seen something that was actually beautiful. You probably don't leave your house enough to see sunsets, to see beautiful parts of nature. You probably don't consume enough art to look at it and say, wow, that's really something special. You consume so much shit content that you've not had that amazement anymore, that enthusiasm for something external in so long. So what can we do? And Thumos is a two-part thing, so we're going to cover it in 2 parts. And the first part is habits. It's what things can you do that actively relight your fire. And the second one is mindset. Something that's been helping me a lot these days is this bad boy. So he's pretty funny, right? At least I think he's a good joke I make. He's called the thermometer, kind of like thermometer. You see what I did there? But yeah, basically he is a blank thermometer. And I've got him on my whiteboard as well. Just a long strip along the side of it. And every day I've been incorporating this habit into my morning routine where I look at the thermometer and I say to myself, where do I rank myself today? Where is my Thumos? How big does the fire in the belly feel? Am I at like burning embers, something that needs to be reignited, or am I like burning with a passionate desire and enthusiasm for the day? So that's one actionable step, is draw out your own thermometer, just a scale from 1 to 10 basically, and put it on a whiteboard because then you can change it every day, or a chalkboard, or a pen and paper if you really want to. But anyway, write it down somewhere. And then every morning you need to ask yourself that question, is where would you rank yourself today on the thermometer? How much Thumos are you feeling that morning? How much spirit, how much enthusiasm, how much passion, how much will to live? And then underneath it, write down the things that for you boost your Thumos. The things that for you add flames to the fire. What things do you do that fan the flame inside of you? And what things do you do that extinguish it? So for me, I've written down 10 things, and you can copy these. So the first one is cold shower. When I feel low in Thumos, I know that taking a cold shower will reinvigorate me, right? I'll get into the water, it'll force me to breathe, my adrenaline will start flowing, my blood and my heart will start pumping, and I'll just feel awake and raw and alive. And I don't know if it like does all the other stuff of reducing stress and increasing testosterone, but just that bit alone, the mental shift that when I get in that cold shower, I do feel more awake, is enough that it will raise my Thumos by so much. The second action I do is meditation. I'll take 5 minutes of my day, I'll put a guided meditation on it and I'll play it the whole way through. I'll breathe deeply. The way I like to describe meditation is, imagine you're listening to the silence of the world. That is the way I meditate, and that is the best way I can describe it to you. Basically just sit there, breathe deeply and listen to the silence. That is such an important way of building Thumos, because here's the thing is, like we were talking about before, Thumos is a different kind of energy. It doesn't refer to that heady kind of energy that you get from running, from the pump after the gym. That isn't thumotic energy. Thumotic energy is deep. It's something within you. It is a raw passion and a burning flame. So things like meditation, they don't calm that flame, they build it. The next one is nature. And I try and do this every single day, but go outside. It really helps if you've got a garden. Go outside into nature, put your hand on a fucking tree and breathe deeply. Feel nature, feel a part of nature. You don't know how important it is until you start doing it again and you realize, fuck me. Kids were so right when they used to sit there on their butts in the fucking grass, like playing with the leaves, ripping out little bits of grass, ripping out dandelions with the little weird milk inside of them. We have lost so much just because we're so devoid from nature these days. The next habit that builds that fire again is exercise. Just go into the gym and lift heavy fucking weights, man. Pump some iron. Get that blood pumping within you again. Again, the gym is one of those things that builds that inner confidence in you. It builds that Thumos. It's not high energy that you're building there. It's low. You're trying to build this low enthusiastic energy. Just keep thinking about it like that. And the gym is the perfect way to do that. It builds that confidence. It builds that masculinity and that manliness and that knowledge that you could fuck up half the people that you walk past. The next habit is sleep. And I can't even call that one a habit, but this is such an important one that builds Thumos. Of course it is. Sleep, of course it builds energy, but here's the thing is so many people ignore it. So many people ignore sleep completely. And that's the first thing that they sacrifice when they start to do new things. So recently I've been working a lot more. I work now for 12 hours a day most days. And my sleep is the first thing that I kind of got rid of as a sacrifice to do that. I'd go to sleep at 12, 1 a.m. and I'd wake up every day at 6 a.m. For the past month, I've had about 5 hours of sleep each night. And recently I got to a point where it just wasn't sustainable anymore, right? I was so fucking tired that my Thumos was completely gone. It was at like little twigs that were just burning at like a kindling or whatever the word is. But they weren't really burning. My flame was gone because of sleep. Because I totally ignored my sleep for so long. I was so tired. I was seeing fucking double. I was like drifting through life on so many days. You can't keep sacrificing your sleep for these other things. Your sleep needs to become One of the most important parts of your life. It is literally a third of your life you spend sleeping, so look after it. The next habit is to eat. When you feel that fire low, one of the quickest ways to refuel yourself, both your body and your soul and your thumos, is to eat good food. So go into the kitchen and eat a hearty meal, eat a fucking warrior's meal, eat meat, eat fats, eat fucking liver, I don't know, just eat something that feels warrior-like, that feels like it boosts your testosterone, right? Potatoes, eggs, sardines, garlic, fish, meat. These things, eat these whole hearty foods that build the fire within you. You'll know what they are, but you just know, like when you eat a steak, right? You're just like, oh yeah, I feel good right now. Like you feel that flame within you, that masculinity just burns so much brighter. Then the next habit is to read. And we've spoken about this before, but read a book that inspires you, right? Get a book out and read something important. Here's another little life story from recently. You'll have watched my past 3 videos maybe. They were about business. They were about MJ DeMarco's book on the Great Rat Race Escape. And it is a good book and I won't take anything from it. But the thing is as I was reading that, I didn't feel that thumos anymore, because here's the thing is, I don't really give a shit about business is what I realized. Like I was reading that book and the fire was kind of dying down because I was spending all my time thinking about business ideas and like whether stuff makes sense and whether it's entrepreneurial or not. And I slowly realized I don't really give a shit about this, do I? I don't care about businesses and making money and entrepreneurship. That's a bit of a sidetrack, but reading was such a big part of my life for me that when I switched my book to something that I didn't really enjoy anymore, something that wasn't interesting to me, I lost so much thumos as a result of it. So read good books that boost those feelings of masculinity, those feelings of thumos, that fire within you. The next habit is the drums. Play music that inspires you, that gives you that will, that gives you that flame deep within you. Play drums, basically. And I mean, literally play the fucking drums if you've got any. That's one of my big dreams now, is to buy a big battle drum like that. But if you don't, just go onto Spotify and put some drums on. Type in like tribal music, type in whatever. Just listen to some drums. Listen to some deep bass and let it reinvigorate your soul. Now the final 2 habits to boost your testosterone are the following. They're quite easy ones that you can kind of just do and then the next day or the next couple of hours you feel great. And they are, number 1, garlic. So if you're on this video, you've probably heard of Elisha Long's channel. He speaks a lot about thumos, and over there he was talking about garlic for a bit. But basically what you want to do is chop up a piece of garlic, put it in your mouth and back it with water, right? Chop it up really finely, 2 to 3 cloves of it, and just back it with water. And see how good you feel. Like garlic is just one of those things, like it boosts your immune system, it boosts those feelings of raw energy within you, that testosterone. And you'll wake up the next morning and you'll honestly feel it. After a day, you'll feel so much better. And then the second tip is coffee. It's a tried and tested one, right? Coffee. Everyone's heard of coffee. Coffee boosts your energy, and so use it. Don't become reliant on it, right? Don't sit there and only be able to start your day with a cup of coffee, right? But here's the thing is when you do feel those periods of low energy, when your thumos is low, when it is dying, don't be afraid to use every tool at your disposal. Don't be afraid to make the strongest cup of black coffee that you can and down that fucker. Coffee in itself is kind of like a tribal experience. Like it's quite a beautiful thing. Like I love making a really strong cup of coffee and just sipping on it slowly. Just the warmth, the heat it provides you, the energy it gives you. Don't be afraid of using coffee just because Andrew Huberman told you if you get addicted to it, it's bad. So these are the things you should be doing every day to keep the fire alight. Things you can do when you realize that the fire is burning weaker. But building true thumos, this kind of permanent energy within you, is a mindset shift. If you do all these habits, but you don't do them with intention, with enthusiasm, then there's not really much point in doing them at all. Now, a big part of thumos is gratitude. And I mean real deep stoic gratitude, right? Not fucking gratitude journaling in your diary once a night, but deep gratitude. So stoic gratitude means like being grateful honestly just for life itself. Being able to look at your life, being able to look at your house, being able to look at this cup of water and being grateful for those things. It doesn't mean be grateful for like your friends or be grateful for your family. Of course, be grateful for those things too, but it goes deeper. It means literally have gratitude that you are alive. See your life as a gift. See the present moment as a gift. Remember that Master Uguay quote? See it like that, yeah? The present is a gift, that's why it's called the present or whatever. See your current life as the gift that it is. And then once you see that, you can't just let life pass you by. You can't be passive in this process. This is your one life. Like Tyler Durden says, this is your one life and it's slipping away 1 minute at a time, bro. So the thing is once you've realized this, once you've realized that life is so important, that you have this gift that you've been given, you can't passively sit by it and watch it disappear into the fucking aeons of time. You need to seize it by the fucking balls, put skin in the game and live it fully. Live it with enthusiasm, live it with Thumos. And then renew your mind daily. That is why this thermometer is so important. And I love the word so much, it's so funny to keep saying it. But yeah, the thermometer, bro. Every morning, wake up and renew your mind. Look at the thermometer, decide where you are, decide what you can do to boost that Thumos. Thumos is the most important part of your life, right? If you can cultivate spirit, if you can cultivate enthusiasm, then so much more will follow. Everything else will become easier. Every other productivity hack that you're trying and all these fucking self-improvement tips will all become so much easier if you have enthusiasm and a will to live. So every day renew the mind. Go to your thermometer, see what you need to do to increase your Thumos. That should be your point of discipline from now on. Forget about all these other habits and all these other hacks. The one thing you should do, because everything else flows from it, is every single morning, analyze yourself. Look at yourself and say, where is my Thumos right now? How high is my fire burning? And what can I do to make it burn brighter? To make the engine hum? So breathe deeply now with me. Fan those flames of your inner Thumos. Anyway, thanks for watching the video, guys. Leave a like and a comment. You'll find those right below the subscribe button. And join the Discord. It's a great place full of men just like yourself who are trying to grow themselves, trying to improve themselves. Come onto there, talk to me and the other guys about your struggles, about what you're going through, about your self-improvement journey. Also, recently I've started doing these calls. So again, go into the description, the second link in there, fill in the application form and book yourself in for a free one-to-one, fully confidential call with me. Ask me anything, any advice, I'll give it to you. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Manifest excellence. Goodbye.